Welcome back to NTV News First Edition. News that restrictions will be lifted soon and will be returning to normal has some people feeling pretty caught off guard and anxious, but others, well, they're ready to celebrate. As we've seen in the past few weeks, people are feeling very polarized. Joining me now is Dr. Janine Hubbard to help us kind of navigate all of these feelings we're having right now. So how do we process our own feelings?
Well, I think everybody is feeling a mixture of emotions and a little confused. And I think it's important to remember that this is going to be a period where you just need to figure out what is right for you as an individual. Guarantee you, and I was saying we have a bit of a sense of deja vu. We had this with the removal of masks and some of the limiting of restrictions previously, and then, you know, things increased again. Here's hoping that this will actually, you know, be the decrease in restrictions. But it is really hard when you've had a message for 2 years of it's dangerous, you have to be careful, you have to take all these precautions. And then what feels very sudden with a reopening and that's okay, you don't have to do any of those precautions. I mean, that's taking people a while to kind of wrap their head around it because it's such a shift in messaging. My way of looking at it is we've been following the medical advice all the way through. It has steered us well. I have to believe that, you know, again, this is based on science and this is based on evidence, but at the same time, just because you don't have to do something doesn't mean that you can't keep doing it for yourself. Mm-hmm.
So for example, I enjoy, this is going to sound maybe a little odd, but I enjoy the freedom that a mask allows me to go to the grocery store, to get up in the morning. Yeah. Gee, I'm out of milk. I don't need to put makeup on. Not that you know, people shouldn't have to wear makeup, but I just put the mask on, I go out, and yay, I feel great. And also it's been cold, so the mask helps against that too. So for those of us who maybe want to continue wearing a mask, is that okay? Is that...
Absolutely. I think the big thing you want to look at moving forward is the reasoning behind your decisions. You listen, if that's convenient for you, I'm loving it against the cold. I'm also, I need to remind people that we don't know everybody's circumstances. We don't know, maybe someone is finally getting the surgery that they've been waiting for in a couple weeks' time. Well, then that makes sense to be wearing a mask. We don't know who has unvaccinated preschoolers in their home or has an immune compromised condition themselves or from a loved one, or is just feeling really anxious and not quite ready to take that plunge just yet. And that's fine. The big message, and we're also going to see it from businesses. There are some, and again, we don't necessarily know the reasons or need to know the reasons why they may be willing to fully embrace having everything open. Again, we know they've suffered financially, or there may be other businesses who say, hey, you know what? In order to come into this establishment, we are still going to request that you wear a mask if you'd like to come in. And it's just being respectful because we don't know each other's circumstances. But the big message I would have moving forward, move at your own pace. Some will be jumping right in. Some it's going to be a little bit slower, but be mindful if really high levels of anxiety are what are holding you back. Then maybe it's time to kind of look at the situation and say, you know, am I taking reasonable precautions? Am I making the decisions that make sense for my family? Or am I doing this purely because it's really anxiety and fear-based? In which case, that might be something that you want to look at in terms of developing some strategies to kind of take those baby steps to kind of start to re-enter and start to participate in things. Again, at a pace that's comfortable for you.
All right, well, Dr. Janine Hubbard, we are out of time, sadly, but I'm sure we're going to be talking about this as we get closer to March 14th. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much. Folks, just be kind, be tolerant, be understanding, and don't judge others for whatever decision it is that they're making.